Alright, get everybody, it's the dog, yeah! How do you like that one, Anna? Anyway, it's time for part 2 of my AC/DC LP collection. This time we are showcasing international LPs released outside of Australia from countries such as the UK, United States, New Zealand, and South Africa, which I'm sure has probably piqued your interest, especially when you see what I've got. Alright, let's start off with the UK High Voltage, this particularly awkward looking front cover. I'd like to know who put this front cover together, because I don't think I've ever known who's put this together. I mean, good thing they kept the same rear cover as well, which is the same between that and the American pressings, you know. It's a bit of an oddity, that particular front cover, actually. And we've got the... Hang on, I actually have to pull it out of the sleeve. The LP itself. Oops. Again, I don't know the dates on many of these, whether these are originals or reissues anyway. So, yeah, it's hard to find some of these early UK ones. And this, I believe, is a UK Dirty Deeds done dirt cheap with this dreadful front cover, which is nothing compared to the Australian front cover. I mean, look, who the hell are these people, for crying out loud? Nobody knows who they are. Unfortunately, I don't have the inner sleeve that originally came with it, just the generic one. So let's pull the... Hang on, pull the record out to show off the label. Again, apologies if you can't read the text. Can only do so much, even 720p. Yeah, there we go. There's slide 2. 33 RPM and stuff, as we all know. Now, back in 1979, over in South Africa, Atlantic decided to put together a compilation called Double Dynamite, which was reissued 2 years later in 1981 under the title Two Originals of AC/DC. As you can see here, this is of course from South Africa. It's got the same albums again, High Voltage and Dirty Deeds, with the same covers. Relatively difficult to find this. I was very lucky to obtain it, so I've never seen another copy since I got this. Oh good, this is a... both whole-sided, so you can see the labels there. As you can see, the label still uses the original title, Double Dynamite, whereas you saw the front cover was reissued with the retitled Two Originals of. So that's the Dirty Deeds that came with it. I'll just put that there, and the High Voltage disc as well, also under the same title, Double Dynamite, High Voltage. I assume the same labels were used for the original release. According to Discogs, it was released originally in 1979 and reissued 2 years later under the Two Originals of title. And this reissue, I believe, is a little more common than the original. Okay, now we move on to a UK pressing of Let There Be Rock with this front cover, of course. Everyone outside of Australia, that is, knows this particular front cover. And, of course, unlike the Americans, the United Kingdom fan base got the proper track listing that we got as well. As you can see, Crab Sitting in Blue instead of Problem Child. I mean, I grit my teeth knowing that the Australian Let There Be Rock is now completely out of print. I go to a music store and I see the American pressing and I see Problem Child on there. I'm like, no! That is not a track from Let There Be Rock. That is from Dirty Deeds! Anyway, here's the side 1 label. The one that says Made in UK. And of course, side 2. Gotta be gentle with these. It's very difficult to do. I've got big hands. As you can see, Crab City in blue. No problem child here, thank you very much. I just wish they'd use the proper Australian master tapes instead of the American frickin' trash tapes with the wrong track listing and overdose in the wrong spot. Alright, here's another somewhat rarity. This is the original UK release of Power Age, which can be identified by its track listing. Let's see if you can read that. As you can see, there is no Rock and Roll Damnation. This is indeed an early copy that starts with Gimme a Bullet and of course has Cold Hearted Man. I managed to pick up some of these UK copies as a sort of small job lot a couple of years ago now. This is the first of 3 copies of Power Age that I'll be showing you. Once again, made in UK, no signs of Rock and Roll Damnation whatsoever. Actually, I think Gimme a Bullet sets a different tone for the entire album. Whereas Rock and Roll Damnation's more upbeat and radio friendly, Gimme a Bullet has a much darker tone. It sets a much darker tone for the album compared to Rock and Roll Damnation. Both are really good songs though, definitely. Okay, this I think is a European or possibly German reissue of Power Age from the 80s. As you can see, the track listing now does include Rock and Roll Damnation and is in the same order as the UK one that I just showed off. Pull it out. Okay, I have to pull it out of the sleeve again. Gently with this. I'd say Germany at best guess. I mean, I have no idea. I think Discogs once said that this was from Europe, but I think they may have changed it since. But I don't go to Discogs anymore. I don't particularly like their opinions and stuff, so we'll not discuss that here. Thank you very much. Okay, here's another rarity in my collection. This is probably one of the most sought after versions of Power Age that I'm sure many people would definitely want to get their hands on. This is the early 1980s New Zealand reissue, perhaps best recognised for its blue misprinted lettering. Managed to obtain this last year actually, when the store owner had to do a swap because a wrong copy of the album was accidentally ordered and he actually already owned it. So he just gave it to me free of charge after I'd already put $350 down on what I ordered. As you can see, made by EMI New Zealand. And side 2, of course. Again, apologies if you can't read the text. It should be noted that there is some blue text down the bottom of the corner here, which should be white like it normally would be. Okay, now we move on to Highway to Hell. This is another UK copy of the album. Now, this goes to those out there who might possibly know something about the British promo releases. I have absolutely no idea. I mean, this white dot here with what looks like a P in red, does this indicate that it could be promo? I have no idea. I have asked on Steve Hoffman Music Forums about this, but nobody has actually got back to me, unfortunately, because I'm not really a well-known member. You can find me at Steve Hoffman Music Forums at The Dog Hour. That is my username on Steve Hoffman Music Forums. Near side 2, of course. Manufactured in the UK. Indeed it is. Alright, now we move on to 4 copies of the same album. Let's start off here for those about to rock. I mean, we'll just show the cover just the once. This is a Brazilian copy of the album, one of very few on the Atlantic Green and Red label. I've not come across very many copies of this, well, not very many Brazilian copies anyway. I have not actually found this particular version on Discogs, so I've since stopped going to that website, as I mentioned a moment ago. This is side 2. Again, apologies for the poor quality. Can only do so much. Okay, this is a Japanese pressing of For Those About to Rock Now. Let me just pull out the insert that comes with it. There's no obi, unfortunately. Again, Japanese text. For those who speak Japanese, if you want to in the comments, you can sort of tell me what this all means. And we've got some lyrics as well in English. There's actually a couple of scrubs here. Yeah, I know there are a few scrubs. Might be on side 2. I know there are a few screw-ups here. I don't know, I haven't looked at this in a while, but I seem to remember seeing a couple of mistakes in amongst the lyrics here. I'm guessing whoever wrote these lyric sheet probably was Japanese and couldn't entirely work out the lyrics. That's why there seems to be ... here and there, because they obviously can't decipher Brian Johnson's Geordie accent, but that's alright. Okay, let's get the LP out of its sleeve. Hang on, or not out of the sleeve, out of the album. As you can see, it's the generic brown label. This is significantly different to most of the others. Again, apologies if you can't read it properly and can only do so much with this. By the way, these videos will be available to watch via Steve Hockman Music Forums, as I have been uploading them to the website on at least a forum. Mr. Eric David 5000 in his AC/DC album by album thread is where I've been uploading these to. So if you're watching from there, how you doing, everybody? Thank you very much. Okay, here's a UK copy of For Those About to Rock. It's the more common brown label again. I know there was a version with the red and green label, but that's extremely rare and very, very hard to find. So, once again, there's the white sticker on there with what looks like a P. Again, in the comments, if anybody knows anything about UK promo albums and whether that sticker actually indicates it's promo or not, please let me know. I would appreciate all your help. Thank you very much. If you don't know, then, well, do whatever. Again, slide 2. Fairly boring label, to be honest. Not very exciting at all. Okay, now we finally got another copy of For Those About to Rock. This is a United States pressing, or US, or America, or whatever you want to call it. Again, I'm sure a lot of Americans have seen this particular version. It's still fairly common. I think I've seen at least one other available when I go to stores every now and again. Inside 2. Excellent. Right, now on to Flick of the Switch. I'm sure everybody knows this particular front cover. Showed it off last time when I showed off my Australian copies. I'd say this is European again, just based on this information here, the barcode and album codes and stuff. It does mention Germany and France there, but again, I'd say this is generic European. Instead of the laminated sleeve, inner sleeve, it seems to be just a paper sleeve. It doesn't look as good as the Australian one, unfortunately. And we've got side 1 here, of course. Hang on. And side 2. Wonderful. Okay, and my other copy is also American. Just a generic barcode here. I think this one was also a paper insert. Again, it's like the Americans don't even bother to try and make a decent insert in a sleeve. It actually looks better than the European one I just pulled out, but I wonder why they went with the thicker insert for the Australian version. I mean, I have absolutely no idea. And let's see, we have side 1 here. And side 2, of course. Excellent. Alright, getting down to the final 3, I think, that I have. We've got an American issue of that boring EP, 74 Jailbreak. I'm sure many in that area know about this, and it kind of annoys me that that's now available out here. I'm like, really? Whatever happened to the Australian albums? It makes me sick. Guys on Steve Hockney music forums like Blue to Go and Paul is Dead and Jay, definitely top notch. We've got the insert here with the lyrics, of course, Jailbreak and You Ain't Got a Hole in Me, and Show Business, Soul Stripper, and Baby Please Don't Go. Again, apologies if you can't read them properly. Not meant to be perfect, unfortunately. And just a paper insert, surprisingly. Okay, it is open holes on either side, so we can show you side 1, of course. And side 2. Up next, I think this is another European pressing of Fly on the Wall, of course. And the barcode here looks identical to the flick of the switch that I showed a moment ago, although there's no mention of Germany there, surprisingly. We've got a similar looking insert, again not on good quality paper compared to the Australian version. Looks like the text is more of an orange, not a brown that I think that was used on the Australian one. Again, see my previous video on these to see the Australian version. Again, we've got the lyrics, and we've got the AC/DC logo on the opposite side, of course. And pull the record out. And side 1 here. And side 2. Excellent. That looks pretty good, even if you can't read it. I once again apologise. Alright, the last one I have in my collection out of these international pressings is a US pressing of Blow Up Your Video, of course. And fairly ordinary looking barcode there. This particular copy used to belong to a library somewhere, I'm not so sure where. But the library reference is printed here at the top of the side 1 label. And there was also a sticker on the front cover which had the same information, but I got it removed. And side 2. Excellent! That is all in my collection of international pressings. Thank you very much for viewing. Be sure to leave a like. Be sure to comment down below. Be sure to subscribe to the Be a Good Dogger channel for more. There will be some more LP showcases coming up soon. And be sure to follow me on Steve Hoffman Music Forums at The Dogger. But until next time, this is The Dogger saying have a great day, have a great week, and we shall see you again.